Kibbe and Finnegan Show, episode number 46. Up for a little bit of therapy. We do this with little to no pre-discussion. We know the show we're going to review.
Yeah, that's it. We pretty much know what episode of the Dukes or what movie we're going to review. But beyond that, we don't really speak unless it's over Skype. It's kind of cool.
This we talk more on. This is real. Everybody that thinks this is scripted is far mistaken. This is
well, we text, but we don't text about the show. We text about, well, mostly cars.
Other things that we like.
Yeah.
Things that make us laugh. I've often wondered, when you do the thumbs up guy, how come yours is it an African American hand?
So if you, it's funny you bring this up because if any of you out there are current subscribers of MotorTrendOnDemand.com or have thought about it, David Freiberger and I had this exact same conversation in a Roadkill Extra, which was a Q&A session between Roadkill fans and us. And what we did was on the Roadkill Facebook page, we just tell people, look, we're going to have a Q&A session. Post your questions here. Maybe we'll answer them. And at the end of the last one he and I did, I don't know what happened, but we were talking about things that don't come with instructions. And I was bitching about the fact that the iPhone doesn't come with instructions and how that results in a lot of awkward situations. And one of them was, I don't enjoy texting, so I make it as brief as I can. And so a lot of times I respond with thumbs up to people. Well, my phone, and I didn't know you could change this, but the default thumbs up was black, right? And I didn't think anything of it. I'd been using it, whenever I switched phones, I don't know, like 6 months ago, I'd just been using it. And somebody finally pointed out to me in a text, like, yo, what's up with the black thumb? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, haven't you ever noticed when I give you the thumbs up, it's not black? Because I'm not black. And I went, hey, you're right. You're not black. But I didn't know that. I didn't know you could change the thumb thing, Like, I know you're not black, but, why is yours yellow? And he's like, dude, hold your thumb down. You can change it from tan to yellow to white to black. Anything you want. It doesn't have to be black, white guy.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, okay.
So it can.
This is awkward, but is it more awkward now if I change? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm keeping it. Keeping the thumb. Keeping it the way it is.
Yeah. If you change now, it looks like you're backing out of something. Because before you were making like a statement like, hey, we're all made the same in God's image. Red, yellow, black, and white.
I wasn't even making a statement. I was just sending a text.
Just a thumbs up. I don't see color, you said.
I see it. It just doesn't matter so much. But the thing about it, though, is that's not the only thing this stupid phone does that I am unaware of, because the thing doesn't come with instructions. And then every time they update it, it does new things. I haven't even figured out the old things yet.
The new text stuff, like all the little things that you can do at the bottom of a text now, confuse me greatly. And I think there's some apps running, because I think I can send you like ESPN stats now in a text.
Oh, great.
Which I if I'd have known about that on Saturday, I would have texted you every 2 seconds from the Iowa State-Oklahoma game.
Yeah, you would have. So the other day, I was at the Eagle Field Drags, and this guy came up to me and he wanted to show me his project car because he figured I'd be into it, which is great, right? And homeboy busts out a flip phone, and I'm like, how are you going to show me your project car? And sure, it had a little pixelated photo in the little screen of his project. And I'm like, wow, dude, I didn't even know you could take pictures with your flip phone, let alone show them to me. But he did, man. He's rolling hard.
I know one guy, Danny Giustino, who owns Muscle Express in Jupiter, Florida. He still uses a flip phone, or he didn't until he could not. And the reason was because the little mini antenna, he could get reception in his shop. Metal building all day long. And it worked great. And on an iPhone or any other phone, you couldn't. So he hung in there till the very last second. And now I think it's gone as well. But there's some holdouts out there.
You want a moment of silence for your buddy's flip phone?
No, I don't care that much.
Oh, jerk.
He doesn't care that much either. He's also a New Yorker, but he lives in Florida. So,
Does he root for the Jets?
I have no idea.
It's a hard thing to do as a New Yorker, I think.
Do you root for the Jets?
Oh, no, they suck. Always. Do you remember the Mark Sanchez butt fumble?
We talked to Tom Moore then at Indianapolis, the offensive coordinator. You got a busted play here, and then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose, and it's alive.
I have never seen this before in my life. Watch this. Vince Wilfork is going to throw Brandon Moore back into his quarterback. He's going to fumble the football. This is what Reggie White used to do to people.
Even if you're not a sports fan, this was all over the world. Like
this was right after Favre, right? Because he took over after Favre.
He ran into the ass of one of his linemen, and ESPN does this top 10 whatever of the best of the month. Well, they also do the worst, and it was number one for 9 months. Nothing was worse than butt fumble. And I don't know if it was a mercy killing or what, but finally it wasn't. There was either something worse came along, or ESPN was like, all right, enough clowning on Mark Sanchez, But that's a sampling of what's been going on in New York with regard to the Jets. The Giants suck too. But
Giants have some problems. And I'm in a one fantasy football league with a bunch of old coworkers. It's about the only.
I don't have time for that.
I don't. It's auto draft, and you kind of just set the players on your app. So in the morning when I'm sitting down
on the toilet
or anywhere, but yes, you can set your lineup there pretty quick. Odell Beckham Jr. was the reason I was winning, and now he broke his ankle, and I will not be winning anymore.
I love sports, but I do not have time for that. I don't even know how it works. There's no time to even figure that out.
The what we do is not that hard.
Like March Madness, pick a square. I can't even. No, dude, I don't have time to pick a square.
Oh, you don't do March Madness? Oh,
no.
We need to do that.
No, college sports in general just suck because, not the actual sport. It's just, I can't get emotionally attached to any of these players because most of them are one and done. Or the program goes down in flames after we all learn that they've been taking money from Adidas or, whatever. The whole thing is just a disaster. I don't even bother following college sports.
This may be where our friendship ends, right here. Because
you have no pro sports to even root for. I understand.
No. I finally realized that I'm a fan of my college, more than anything else, and it's the only I'll watch college football because I do like college football. But not with vigor. But when Iowa State plays, I watch. And, dude, I have watched eons of losing.
Yeah, but see, you went to a real college. I went to community college. Oh, there's
room in Iowa State family for you, Mike.
Let's keep rooting, for Orange County Community College.
Did you not see? Okay, I'm going to share with you and everyone listening the greatness of this past weekend. So Iowa State's in the Big 12 Conference. There are not 12 teams. There are 10. That doesn't factor into the story. It just still.
Everybody gets a gold star? Is that how that works?
No, somebody else got paid, so the other two guys left. Actually, 4 left, and then we got 2 other weirdos back. So, anyway.
Sorry, good.
Anyway, we finally have a good coach who's getting in pretty good players, hopefully legitimately. But our starting super good quarterback is gone. Just gone. He had some personal mental issues, so he just is gone. And we're playing Oklahoma last week, and Oklahoma is very, very good. Their quarterback's a leading Heisman candidate. And they're Oklahoma. They're always a perennial contender for not only the Big 12 championship, but NCAA championship, period.
Okay.
And Iowa State always loses to Oklahoma. You can set your watch on it. You know it's going to happen. But not this time. Not this time. So Iowa State shows up with no quarterback and no starting linebacker. And they're in Oklahoma where there's 90,000 fans. And they're facing a Heisman Trophy leading candidate quarterback. And they rolled them. And it wasn't a fluke. It was a straight up Iowa State did a beatdown. Iowa State put in their 3rd string quarterback, a 5th-year journeyman. It was his first start in college ever. He had been a backup going from school to school. He wasn't recruited. He's a walk-on here. He's paying to go to school here. And he was out there slinging the ball better than the Heisman candidate, this way, that way, down the field. If he saw somebody get into space, he'd put the ball over there and they just jump up and get it for him. And when he wasn't in, our former starting quarterback, who's now our starting linebacker, would flip sides and play quarterback.
What?
And he'd run the ball, and every now and then he'd just throw it out into the flat. And then when they needed him on special teams, he showed up on special teams. He played offense, defense, and special teams. And he may have flown the team plane home. That part's a joke, but there's a picture of him in the plane.
Okay, I was going to say, this sounds a lot like the plot to a mid to late 90s football movie. Which means I'm into it.
This really
because I'm all about the underdog. This is pretty awesome. This is some Rudy type stuff here.
Dude, it wasn't, that was the crazy. I mean, I'm an Iowa State fan. I have seen flukes before, and they happen every now and then, but this wasn't it. This was a legitimate, we beat them.
So they'll do it again this week is what you're saying. They're that good.
This is where you find out how people handle it, because this week we play Kansas, and Kansas is really the only team in the Big 12 worse than us. And that, normally. And we should beat them. But I have my fingers crossed. So the question
is, does the star come back in when he's done with his personal mental health, or do they put Rudy back in?
This is why you should be on local sports talk radio. Basically, that's what we got to figure out this week. Nobody even knows where he is.
No, dude.
Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, I hope he's all right.
Yeah,
I mean, show up though.
I kind of hope he doesn't either.
I hope he rides his motorcycle off with a 12-pack somewhere and just gets drunk and doesn't, try and dodge a train and stuff. I hope he's all right.
I'm not sure I get the reference.
You didn't see the movie?
No.
Which one was it? The Program?
Get it up! Come on, man! To fight the pressure, face the pain, and survive the program.
Quarterback guy, he's the star, and he drinking problem, hot dogging on his motorcycle, jeopardizing his career.
I have not seen the program. I do know the movie, but I haven't seen it all the way.
Eerily familiar to that. It does.
Okay. Well, I didn't know any of that, and this was real life. You can go check it out. It's on ESPN.
There's two ways you can go with these sports movies. Like, you have your necessary roughness, which is all, fun and games, and good guys win. And then you have the Program, which is like the dark side of college football. Steroids, road rage, rape, all that stuff. So, yeah. I'm hoping this is more.
I think Iowa State is doing something well here. Fingers are crossed. I mean, Iowa State fans, like the guy who does our radio announcements, he wears a nut cup. He just wears it because it's going to happen. You're going to get kicked in the stones at some point because lightning will strike the ball and give the other guys a first down or something. It happens, but not this time. Oklahoma went down. It was legit. Hey, Mike, do I have something crazy to tell you? Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Do you?
Well, no, I really do. Today, we have a sponsor on the show.
What?
A great sponsor, in fact. Do you know why they're a great sponsor?
That's the name of their company.
That is the name of their company. This episode is sponsored by Greats. They are the makers of Greats, classic, stylish, and comfortable sneakers sold at a great price. And I have some here. I'm gonna unveil to you in the short term here, but they're a shoe company. And
you are so smooth.
Thank you. It's a gift.
I'm sold already.
It's a gift.
Nice work.
Lots of popular styles. Their best sellers are one that I have here. I'm going to show you, but it's leather. It's called the Royale. It's a lace up. They have some slip-ons. They have a number of different styles, but they're all classic styles, and they're made from really high quality stuff, men's and women's, really suitable for any occasion. And I've opened this once, but I put it back in the box so I could do it here. But my wife was amazed. It's nicer than anything I have. It doesn't really cost that much money.
I feel like these are for the people that, you like sneakers. You love sneakers. But you want sneakers that are just a little bit nicer than normal. You're going out sneakers. That's what these are.
They really are. They really are. So here's what the box looks like. Can you see this okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you open this up. I didn't even wear it.
Whenever you say Royale, I just hear with cheese.
Now, what you can't smell by listening to this is how good these things smell. But it's a very trendy style. It's a style that a lot of people wear. Now that you have seen it, I'm going to wear it because it's so white. I mean, even on the bottom, I'm a little worried about getting it dirty, but it's really cool. And it's all leather. I mean, even the insoles are leather. It smells like a Ferrari.
I never smelled a Ferrari.
If Ferrari made a shoe.
I've never sniffed a shoe or a Ferrari. Oh. I'm going to take your word on that.
Yeah. What you want to do is go to greats.com, and believe it or not, Mike, believe it or not, if you go there, you can save 15% on your first order by using our offer code, KAFS. How about that? And they offer a no-risk return and exchange policy. That means you can get exactly what you want in a style that you love, even if you don't do it on the first time. No problem right there. So Greats, thank you for sponsoring the show. They'll be with us for the next 2 shows, in fact. Greats.com, KAFS is the code to use at checkout. Pretty sweet, huh?
Oh, dude. Sounds like it would go better than my first date ever went. No risk.
Are we talking about? Did somebody find you?
Star Wars? What?
No. Go back to your first date here.
No, let's not. Nobody.
You're famous. So I just now thought of this. It makes sense to me that long lost loves probably would like to have you back now that they know you're a big deal and famous. So has that happened?
I don't know about that, actually. Actually, I'm friends with some of them on Facebook, but no. Everybody's moved on, I believe. Which is good.
Good for
them.
For them. Yeah, good for them. Yeah. Good for them.
They're in a much better place than they would have been with me. The young me, you don't need that in your life.
Was he a lot different than current you?
Oh, yeah.
In what way?
It's probably less hairier back then, but also less mature. I feel like I've matured.
There's a less mature version? What?
Yeah, currently I don't spend any time in jail, so that's good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
This is why we need to talk off the podcast so that I know this stuff. You want to talk about a Star Wars trailer?
Sure.
Did you see the Star Wars trailer? Star Wars.
I did.
66-day countdown from today. I pulled a few clips from it even that I kind of wanted to chat through with you.
This is interesting. As a Trekkie, you're counting the days down to Star Wars. I like that.
I do like Star Wars. And it's what's kind of cool about it now is that my enjoyment of most of this stuff came from my mom, who I watched Star Trek with as a kid, coming home from school in the summertime, and my high school friends. And now I've been really lucky. I have my high school friends and we're still tight, and I have my college friends and we're still tight. And I've had a few jobs here and there, and I always have friends from something that I get to stay friends with. I'm really, really lucky, and I don't want to say the word blessed because that's just overused, but I am. Anyway,
I moved so many times. I'm not friends with those people anymore, other than online. So you are.
And it's not all. I would say of the 40 or 50 people that I know well, like 10 are people I could probably call and they'd bail me out of jail, like no questions asked.
Dude, 10's a solid number.
It's a good number, but 4 or 5 of them are my high school buddies. And now we take the time on purpose to get together at Christmas and we go see these Star Wars movies now. So I'm legitimately counting this down to go hang out with my old boys, right? It's going to be great.
Dude, that's cool. My brother and I were having a conversation about friendships and maintaining them and the work that you have to put in. And as it turns out, he and I are kind of because we tend to move, and then when we move, we're not really good at maintaining those relationships, And
it can be hard.
And he and I are the type of people that unless someone calls us on it, not really cognizant of it, because every now and again I'll just pick up the phone and start calling people, but it's not a consistent thing. And my brother lately, as he's matured, has become really good at planning things every year, annually, to get together with some of his friends. And I am not nearly as good at that as he is. So got a lot of respect for him for that.
That's cool. And I think I've been to your house a few times now. I think the last time I was there was like right before Memorial Day, and he was planning something really neat from Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Like a big get-together. He'd also
Yeah.
just killed a snake. Like a little girl. He was running around real scared about it.
I remember this. It wasn't with his bare hands, that's for sure.
No, I think he used a shovel or something. But
Or a car. That snake was dead.
Okay, well, anyway, here's the Star Wars 8 trailer. Let me, you've seen this, right?
Yeah. Got a lot of questions.
And we're not spoiling this for anybody, but so in the last movie, we witnessed the death of Han Solo, and he was killed by his own son, or was he?
Wait, what?
Well, there's a theory out there that maybe Han Solo, knowing that he had to be killed, helped his son do it, so that his son would be kind of released from the power that he was under from Snoke, who's kind of the new modern bad guy, the evil emperor.
Wait, didn't you see the look of surprise on his face?
I've watched too many like breakdown YouTube trailers. I don't think it's true, but there is a consistent theory out there that maybe it didn't happen. But anyway, he's bad.
But how
now.
would you ever know that wasn't Han Solo's idea because he's dead? Who's gonna know?
Well, you might find out in the next movie.
Like a flashback, or is he gonna float around like other dead Jedis?
Yes, I think that might happen in this one. But anyway,
Han Solo, he's not a Jedi.
No. Other dead people might float around in this one.
Oh, and explain what's happening?
Yeah.
I hope so, because we need some explanation. Like, because Rey, who's her parents? You know.
So that's the question from this one. Is Luke her father?
I'm guessing, but
you would think so. So Rey and Kylo Ren, they're both about the same age, and they both have enormous power. You know, with the Force here, and Star Wars is, you know, it's the classic story, good versus evil, like eternal salvation versus eternal damnation. It's story as old as time. Yeah. And this one is really Luke's story. And we found out in the last movie that Luke was trying to train like the next generation of Jedi, which included Kylo Ren, and failed to steer them in the right direction. And Kylo Ren ended up murdering a bunch of people, and Luke went into exile. So this movie starts with Rey, you know, the girl that we found in the last one, who looks remarkably like my oldest daughter. She finds Luke and gives him his lightsaber back. And in this movie, we kind of find out that wasn't a wanted welcome. He didn't want to be found. He didn't want to know her. He doesn't want to train her. And then he is scared of her because she's got some uncontrollable power. And he's seen that before. And maybe he saw that in Kylo Ren, or maybe he saw it somewhere else. But he now knows to be really scared of what she can do. So I pulled some clips in here, and the music will blow your mind. Awesome. It's so good. But here's the first clip. This is kind of like the intro. I think the bad guy is Snoke.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something truly special.
Okay, you think he's talking to Kylo Ren there, but is he? He might be talking about Rey.
Yeah, he's talking about Rey, because Kylo was not nearly as powerful as Rey at the end of the last movie. She was going to kick his... Mm-hmm. And he's mentally just weak as all hell. So I think he's talking to Rey. I think what you're hearing right then, and the last movie did this, is it kind of mirrored the first Star Wars, the second Star Wars, episode 4 and 5. Mm-hmm. So I think Rey's about to go on the journey that Luke went on, and then you're looking at the moment where she's like in the forest confronting her darkest fear, and it's that wife that's talking to her.
Yeah, it's scary. This is Luke. Next clip I pulled here. By the way, now Disney owns this, so I hope they don't ever hear this, because they might be a little more interested in pursuing their clip rights than Warner Brothers of Dukes of Hazzard episode. We'll play it anyway. Hopefully they'll give some credit here.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
That's Luke. He's talking, and he's talking to Rey, for sure.
She's a bad. Like I'm stoked for this next movie to come out because I really liked the characters that they introduced in the last movie. So this is gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
Do you think at the end of this that Kylo Ren is offering to take Rey and teach her, or is he talking to somebody else?
I don't know. The way they edit these trailers, especially they did this with Rogue One. They're very ambiguous, So
they try to mislead.
I'm not jumping to any conclusions. I'm just gonna go get some popcorn and sit down and watch this thing.
Yes, just take it all in. These movies are so well done. I really enjoy them. Hey, I got an email for you.
All right.
This is going to blow your mind. I think it might.
All right.
Do you remember when we were talking about the Orville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks funny. I've not seen it.
It does.
I don't have cable. I probably never will, but it looks funny.
Here's the email. Robert and Mike, my name is Garrett Immel, and I'm a fan of the Muscle Car Place and the Kibbe and Finnegan podcast. I'm also a makeup artist on the Orville. I handle Bortus, among other things, so it was great to hear that you're enjoying the show. Thanks for the kind words. As an aside, I used to work on The Walking Dead, which is shot in Sonoy, Georgia. So I saw Jacob driving the Green Hornet around a few times. Anyway, I really enjoy your show, and it was a treat to hear you talk about ours.
Wow, that is cool. Sonoy is rad. Like that's where Rutledge Wood lives. That's not where Jacob lives, but he used to go down there for car shows.
Where's that relative to Atlanta? Is that
part of about an hour south of Atlanta?
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Cute little town. Like it's a really cool looking little town. But yeah, that's where they filmed Walking Dead, and Rutledge lives there. And I've been there once. I don't hang out there, but I've been there once. Cool place.
Georgia pretty. I replied to Garrett, and I said thanks, and I said I was just kind of joking around. I said sometime you should get me and you and Mike, and we'll be in a generally on the planet Duke, and the Orville can come find us or something. That would be hilarious. And then he replies, we're not doing it, but he says, Seth is an encyclopedia of 80s and 90s after-school TV. I'm sure he'd get the Dukes reference in an instant. Not much gets past him. He's one of the smartest people I've ever met. Needless to say, he's also a huge Next Generation fan. And we kind of went back and forth about a number of things. He has a 70 Challenger RTSE with a 383 himself. That's his personal car. That's what he drives around.
Who does? Seth or?
Garrett does. Garrett does.
Wow.
But, dude, this guy could get Seth MacFarlane to listen to and promote our show.
That would be insane.
Hopefully. Garrett, don't want to put you in a bad spot, but please don't do that.
Insane.
Can we do a return of What Did You Drive before we get to the Dukes of Hazzard?
Mm-hmm.
It has been some time, but Mike, you've been gone for a week, off on your day job, let's say, the killing of roads. Hey, I pulled a dead squirrel out of my yard yesterday. Thought of you. That's not a joke. I really did. Threw him in the street so I could keep mowing. But you've been out on
Wait, he was in the yard, you threw him in the street?
Well, he was dead.
Is that what they do in Iowa? You don't have trash cans?
I meant to go get him later and I forgot, but I I needed him moved so I could mow, and I didn't want to, mow over him. So I'm sure he's still there. I'll just pick him up tonight.
When I moved to Georgia, my dog crapped in my next door neighbor's yard, and we were going to pick it up, and my neighbor was like, "This is Georgia. Just kick some leaves over it." I was like, "Okay, that's how it is here." Oh. Apparently, where you live, you just throw dead animals in the street when you're done with them.
I will go get him later. I live on a corner lot, which is something I don't ever want to do again, especially with kids, because you got one kind of blind street out there, and you have two sidewalks to snowblow.
These are not reasons enough to throw dead animals in the lane. Okay,
it was throw him or mow him, and
don't try to sell this, dude.
Anyway, I was thinking of you, and I thought, why roadkill? Mike works on roadkill. Wonder what Mike's driving on roadkill. So, Mike, what did you drive?
A 1950 Ford F6 pick-em-up. Used to be a dump truck.
Oh, is this Stubby Bob?
Yeah, drove Stubby Bob. I drove Stubby Bob through Los Angeles gridlock.
You did?
Yeah, all the way up to practically Fresno for the Eagle Field drags. Bumper to bumper, just mobbing it. Yeah, it was awesome.
How does Stubby Bob do in traffic?
Not so bad now. We put a new Speedway Engineering front axle, disc brakes, leaf springs on it, because in the Roadkill episode when I wheelied the thing and it came down, it broke the leaf springs in half and, pretty much trashed the rest of the steering. So we swapped all that stuff out and did a whole bunch of welding, made a rear roll bar for it, put a wheelie bar on it.
Sweet.
And then wired up some headlights so it was, fairly legal, and we hit the road. It was cool.
That sounds great.
And if you want to know how it turns out, you'll have to wait and watch the episode.
Yep. So somebody sent me a link today, a buddy I go to church with, for something on Motor Trend On Demand. And I don't have a subscription. I think I just need to get a subscription because it was with the Datsun 280Z, and so I couldn't even tell what show it was. It was just a link to something, and the first thing I did was click it. It said, please log in here, and I didn't have a login.
It's pretty cheap. It's like, I don't know, $5 or $6.
$4 or $5. Yeah, it's some tiny.
It's pretty cheap, and there's some good content on there. A lot of roadkill stuff that you can't see anywhere else, like interviews and behind the scenes stuff. So I highly recommend getting it. MotorTrendOnDemand.com.
Look at that. Good work. What did I drive?
Yeah, what did you drive?
Nothing particularly fun.
Squirrel flinging riding mower?
Just been moving trucks here and there. I'm at the point where it's about time to put my Chevelle away or take it south and let it live in somebody else's shop. So I drove it around this week on purpose, but it's 40 degrees and raining outside right now.
I've thought about going south this winter and down to like Florida to run my car because I'm finally happy with the performance of the 55 Chevy known as Blasphemy. Mm-hmm. It's currently broken, but when I put it back together, I would like to go race it.
You'll be happy then.
And I don't want to wait till April in Georgia to race my car.
I don't either. And I'm in this situation, you're probably in it as well. I'm in a stage of life where my weekends are really not free, even when I am home. We have kid commitments that are more important to me than doing car stuff. But, most car activity, even like a local SCCA event, is on a Sunday. I usually got church in the morning, and then I coach flag football, and stuff in the afternoon. And I can't go.
It's like a car vacation.
I would love
you
to
throw yours in a trailer,
that'd be great.
Bring it down to Georgia. I'll throw mine on the Ram truck, and we'll head south. And we'll go drag race to 55, and we'll go autocross your car somewhere south.
Then we sell them both and come home in a General Lee.
Okay, we'll sell yours, and we'll come home in a General Lee. I like mine.
No, I'm not selling mine. I've never sell mine either. But
if we took the Firebird is the only thing I own that I would off in favor of a General Lee. So if anyone out there has a 68 or 69 Dodge Charger, it doesn't even have to be a General Lee, and you want to straight up swap for a really fun 1969 Firebird that's been on Roadkill, I would do that.
On that segue, let's talk about the Dukes of Hazzard. We have another episode back. Oh, hey, I got one. I forgot. There's one email.
Okay.
One person here. Most people like that we do like a few Dukes episodes and then a movie or something like that. In fact, a lot of people have just sent in their recommendations. Some like Casa Bonita, I got a recommendation on that, but that's not about movies. That's about the food gene that you talked about last week. But there's one person in particular, no likey the movies. And this may be mostly directed at me. I think it is. But he says, David Suggs, his name, please quit the movie reviews. It's terrible. And often you don't give your full attention to it. Your Dukes reviews seem to be natural from childhood memories, which make it more fun. The fact it all started with Megaforce, or even that Megaforce even got a show, is beyond me. I love what you all do, but he's up on the movies. Those shows have caused me to be less of a fan. And that's from the heart, and he may be speaking for others who have not had the courage to say what he said.
I see what you're doing here.
No, right. I didn't make this up. This is
yeah, I see what you're. There were others who said not similar things that you chose to ignore. You just picked on the one dude who hates men in tights on motorcycles with fake machine guns. Okay.
I may have not given my best effort to Fast and Furious as well. Maybe he caught that.
That's a small sampling. Sample size not large enough to predict any trends. Okay?
This is on me, David. Here's the problem we've got. There are only so many episodes of the Dukes of Hazzard, and we're going to blow through those in about another year and a half. We need other stuff to cover. So,
or we move on to Knight Rider, the A-Team, BJ and the Bear, Fall Guy. There's a lot.
You might say we're stalling.
Without the Dukes, we are nothing.
I just love the Dukes. It fits us so well. And that's why I'm so excited to talk about the Dukes is the reason we're doing this. You posted about that black Charger. I remember it. I remember it so well. Anyway, this is our review of the next episode of the Dukes. Season 3, Episode 7, Ba Ba White Sheep. Original air date, December 5th, 1980. Written by some people who have a pretty good track record with us. William Rayner and Miles Wilder. Directed by Dick Motor. Mike, did you watch this classic Dukes of Hazzard episode?
I did. And I'd like to take a moment here to speak on a very important subject. Namely, excellence in cinematic photography. Okay?
Oh, Mike's super summary. Here goes.
Yeah, just let that marinate for a second. Cinematic photography. There have been many important moments, many, captured on film throughout broadcast media's short history that have earned Emmys, even Oscars. These scenes inspire us to stare wide-eyed, maybe slap our knees, hell, we might even drool a little. They all pale in comparison to the excellence rendered in this here episode of our favorite television program.
This is why you needed more time, isn't it?
Maybe.
This is polished. Oh, keep going.
All right. For starters, we are treated to the generally flying through the air, bald eagles firing from the dual exhaust pipes, no less than 4 times during this episode. All right. And not only are these side-by-side shots of Boss Hogg and his twin brother, Abraham Lincoln Hogg, integrated nearly flawlessly into the footage. Is there a plot here? Yep. Are there shenanigans? Right. But neither shabby spray bomb Cadillac paint jobs nor the unexplained disappearance of one Beauregard Duke will deter me from giving this episode 10 out of a possible 10
Holy
stale, day-old truck stop corn dogs. The cinematography is simply that good.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but...
Can I get a moment of silence for no reason whatsoever?
I need to tell you something.
What?
I met 10 corn dogs too.
What?
For all the right reasons. Go ahead. I'm going to give you the silence right here.
No, I'm done. Dude. Just be quiet and let's just let it marinate a little.